Hey there, little bunny. I hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too. I want to start by really connecting with you. Because, can I tell you a little secret? I tried this podcast about 3 or 4 times so far. I didn't get too far into it, but I'm having trouble really feeling like I'm with you right now. So I want you to do something with me. It's easy. I just want you to, what do I even want you to do? I pretended like I knew exactly what I wanted you to do. But on an emotional level, I want you to really send me your love. Not in the sense that I really need your love right now. Of course, I love your love always. But I need you to help me get to you. Does that make sense? I need you to really open up to me so that I can open up back to you and we can make this connection that, I don't know, it just is what the garden is about. And this is how space works with us. This is how time works with us if we want to get all sci-fi and crazy, which is one of my favorite things to do, to get sci-fi and crazy. So let's get sci-fi and crazy. I'm going to hold you in my hands because I've got my little pocket recorder this week again. And you don't have to do anything specifically unless you want to do the Lindy hug, the Lindy hand hug, if you remember how to do that. But I think what I really want is I want your heart to really open up to me because I want to feel you coming through the recorder that I'm holding. I want to really feel like I have you in my hands. So I think that's what you can do for me. Just in a second, I want you to envision yourself being in my hands. You ready? Okay. I'm cradling you. I want you to feel, why don't I describe what I'm feeling? And then I want you to be what's in my hand. So my hands are, they feel strong but gentle. I'm kind of cupping them like you might cuddle a cup of hot chocolate in the wintertime. And I want to look at you a second, so I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to look into my hands. And when I look, I want to really see you. Okay, so send me all of your love. I want you to really be present with me right now. Okay, here we go. Hey there, little bunny. Let me get some water. I'm starting to feel you. I'm starting to really feel you. This is exciting. Oh, this is going to be so much better than the ones before. Okay, hold on. Okay, wow. I've got you, little bunny. Here we go. What did I want to talk about this week? Well, one of the reasons I stopped the last one that I was recording was because I was talking so much just about me. It was like I was just doing a journal to myself, which I do enjoy doing. But it's like I clearly wasn't with you. So I want us to do this together now. Because you know how I mentioned that you are a warm cup of hot chocolate right now in the wintertime? Well, you actually are quite literally warming me up because I was cold just a few minutes ago, but somehow I feel just a little warmer, you know, and I feel so much happier now that you're with me. So much better. So much better. So why do I have my pocket recorder? And I am somewhere very special, little bunny. Somewhere that is special to no one but you and me. It's very ordinary to everyone else who has ever been here before. But to you and me, we're somewhere very special right now. I'll let you guess while I tell you that I am still abroad for just a few more days before I go back to the city of my dreams. Because I live in the city of my dreams, because I build the life that I want. And yeah, more on that later. This is not meant to be bragging, okay? This is about how you can build a life that you're really, really happy with. And now this sounds like some really boring self-help thing, so guess what, little bunny? I promise I won't get boring and preachy. What I want to do is I want to do an activity with you that happens to be related to all of it. So let's see. Okay, pause. Slow down, Daddy Lindy. Slow down. Let's get into the present moment. Okay. What do you want me to talk about, little bunny? Should I talk about where I am right now? Is that mystery gnawing at you right now? Or do you want me to talk about this activity that we are going to do together? It's not that much of an activity. You don't need any. Oh, you can get markers, actually. Maybe you should get markers and paper. That's actually a good idea. I don't have any utensils with me right now, or whatever you call them. Supplies. You don't have to either. Oh, sorry for that sound. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what the activity is. So, in my time right now, I still have to figure out how we're going to talk about time in the garden, because you're somewhere different than me right now. Oh my God, little bunny. There was I just remembered this. I hadn't remembered this for years. I haven't thought about this for a decade, maybe. There's a movie I saw when I was really young about this father and son. So the father was a firefighter, and the son was very young on this day when the firefighter had to run to a burning building. And the dad did not make it out of the fire. And so the son grew up wishing he could have known his dad. He feels like there's this emotional space in his life that he never got to have, that was taken from him by a tragedy. And then in his adult life, many years later, something odd happens with the stars. They have some kind of, I think, it's like this, it's kind of like a supernatural type thing, but they dress it up as science fiction. But basically, he's able to have this like phone or this radio that goes back into the past. And he's able to have a relationship with his dad. And they're basically like the same age at this point. And so it's this incredible thing where this son who grew up without his dad in adulthood has this incredible ability, or it has this incredible circumstance where this telephone can bring him to talk in real time to his dad. So they talk back and forth. It's this kind of time travel movie. And it's so interesting because time and space doesn't get in the way of the genuine connection that they have, because they can never, oh, you know what? I think they even talk on this same phone. Like they're talking, it's the same phone, but 30 years apart. So they're at the same desk. Oh man, I'm getting chills right now. I have to go back and watch this movie. I wonder if that might have been an inspiration for what you and I are doing here right now. The space I'm in right now, little bunny, is the closet from last week. And that was such a special episode to me. I have no idea. It's definitely like reveals that I'm a very crazy individual. If you hadn't guessed, yes, I am crazy. Yes, I love it. Yes, it makes the garden the magic that it is. So if you want to figure out kind of what brand of crazy I am, go listen back to last week's episode. And I think maybe that's why I'm in this mood. I won't say more about the closet. You just have to go back last week to understand the importance of this closet. But it's almost like it doesn't matter that I'm physically here in this time right now. This time I go back and forth on this, little bunny, about whether I should reference like what year I'm recording this in, because you might be separated from me by 30 or 40 years. From the well, this is getting all super sci-fi. Okay. Let's bring it back. Maybe this is boring to you. I can go down sci-fi rabbit holes all day. So I'll figure that out. Let's get back to you and me, little bunny. Okay. Let's do this activity together. If you want more of that sci-fi stuff, the super trippy garden space time, go listen to last week's episode, whatever it's called. Okay. So I am recording this a couple days after Christmas in the year 2022. And as I say that, and by definition, that is on a previous day that you're listening to this, I want you to take a moment to realize that you really are here with me right now. Yeah? I'm not having a conversation with myself. I'm having a precious moment with my little bunny. Okay, so I'm recording this a couple days after Christmas, 2022, and that means my very, very favorite holiday of the year is coming up. Can you guess what it is? I should have had you guess what my favorite holiday was before I mentioned when this was. Anyway, my favorite holiday is New Year's. I don't know if it's New Year's Eve or like the next day when you wake up and it's January 1st. I have to decide. Maybe it's not New Year's Eve. I think New Year's Eve is about looking back at the past year and, thinking of the good things and the bad things. And of course, we always tend to focus on the bad things like, oh my God, I'm so glad that year is done with. I hope next year is better. And then, of course, next year will come and you'll look back. And because we have this human tendency to just hold on to the bad, carry the bad with us. I think New Year's Eve is about looking back. Maybe my favorite holiday, and nobody likes to celebrate it, is like the morning of New Year's Day. Maybe we'll have to create a garden initiative around it. Maybe, I'll think about that. I'll get back to you next year on what that is. So, why do you think that I love New Year's Day? And this is very important to you, little bunny. This is going to help you out. This is a bit of a carrot podcast, actually. Hopefully I can spice in some honey in there. Spice in some honey, splice in some honey. Splice in some spicy honey in there. But not too spicy because that's for Patreon. So, okay. Why do I like New Year's Day? Why is that my favorite holiday? Wow. I always just said New Year's was my favorite holiday. But it's New Year's Day. Okay. A big theme of the garden and what I want to help you do in your life is to help you build the life that you want to be the best version of yourself. I love the quest of ever becoming the best version of yourself. Getting closer and closer. And even if you don't get 100%, you can narrow the gap for forever. And man, if you're 95% your best self, it feels good to be alive. It really feels good to be alive. And it's going to be different for everybody. I'll talk more about that. Something that I really love about humanity is how we're all different. We're all different. We have different personalities and different interests. I would say different skills and different talents, but I think that people can get bogged down by that and kind of stab themselves in the foot or shoot themselves in the foot. I'm mixing all my metaphors tonight. Okay, let me get back to you. I'm starting to get in audio journal mode. Okay. Focus on being in my hands, little bunny. Okay, I want you to feel nice and cute in my hands. I'm here to protect you. I've got you. I'm going to take some silence to really feel you. So send me all of your love, okay? I want you to really be here. Nod, you're going to be my little bunny. Yes, you're going to be in my hands. Yes. Okay. I'm going to be here for you, but you have to be here for me. Okay? I want to share this moment with you because you're special to me. This is one of my favorite things to do. And it only works because you're here. It only works because you're there on the other end. There on the other end or here in my hands, I've got a lot to work through in terms of how this sci-fi nonsense is working out. Okay. All right. Be a cute little bunny in my hands. Ready? I'm going to stop talking for a few seconds and really feel you. You're precious to me, little bunny. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making my life better. Thank you for helping me be the best version of myself. I'll get better at English, I promise. Is it one of my talents? I don't know. It's one of the skills I'm working on. Okay, so we're getting a bit rambly. I've realized that it's a lot easier to improvise a honey episode, and it's a lot harder to improvise a carrot episode. So I might have to go back to really taking heavy notes on this stuff. But okay, here's the activity. Let's get to it. We are going to, see here. It's what other people might call New Year's resolutions. And I think other people mess them up real bad. So I'm going to help you and help me do it the right way. So I don't know if we call it New Year's resolutions. Maybe we'll come up with something by the end of the episode. But I said it really well. Actually, there's a really good carrot episode. It might be number 2. It's how to move mountains. That's a really great episode. It might sound vintage at this point because I don't know how the old episodes sound. It probably sounds way different than it is right now. But let's talk about how other people mess up their New Year's resolutions. And maybe you'll feel a bit accused. I wonder if there's resolutions. Why don't you do this? Think of some resolutions you might have had in the past that kind of fell through. Something that you were planning on doing. And I guess it doesn't have to be New Year's. It can be any point in time where you said, okay, from now on, I'm doing this, or rather like, here's a thing I want to accomplish. So here's an example. Let's say you really want to write a book. And you can substitute any goal that you have, little bunny, any kind of creative goal, something where you got to work at it and work at it and work at it. And then at some point you can stand tall and say, check it out. Oh, it wasn't episode 2. Oh, it was the best poem I've ever written also of my life. Oh man, little bunny, this is hard. I'm so tempted to just turn off the episode and start over again. And suddenly I feel like I'm doing radio. I think that's what I can't shake. I feel like I'm doing radio and I don't want to do radio, little bunny. I just want to be here with you, one-on-one. Just you. And just me. Maybe let's go into a little bit of a honey section of the podcast. Little bunny. You want to just take a nice big sigh with me? That was a yawn. Wow. Daddy is tired. No, that's no excuse. Daddy is trying to make an excuse for giving a bad podcast. No, bad daddy. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take my own advice, which is give myself permission to be bad at something. So, I don't know. Maybe this podcast is going to be bad, but I made a commitment to you, little bunny. Speaking of resolutions, that I will always give you a podcast on the same day every week. I might end up changing the day, but I will do that ahead of time. I will announce it beforehand in case my schedule changes in some unforeseeable way. But right now, it's every Friday. You know, without fail, I'm going to be here for you every Friday. I like being here for you. And it's enjoyable to do when I really, really, really feel like I've got you one-on-one. I don't want to be some radio broadcaster. I don't want to be a voice actor. I just want to be a daddy to my little bunny. That's all I want to do. Okay. Here's why this is an important episode. Is because I just said that I want to be a daddy for my little bunny. And there's kind of 2 times when I could say the garden began. One was before I made a New Year's resolution, to borrow a term that we will replace. One was before I made a New Year's resolution, and one was after. And the reason I'm talking to you right now, little bunny, is because on January 1st of last year, I said, I've got to get serious. I've got to step up my game. This kind of like, I don't really want to curse, but there's a phrase called half-assing, which I think is very useful. Oh man. Speaking of my dad, growing up, he would accuse me of half-assing things. And even then I didn't like curse words. You know, this is so ridiculous. I have brutal Dom audios, yet also I don't like cursing. I'm an interesting man. I'll just put it that way. But I think he invented the term half-baked. Maybe he didn't invent the term, but that became our little thing. Is that it's like, you don't want to do things half-baked, do you, Lindy? Because that's totally the name that I was born with. So I had been half baking. Not the garden, but like my place in your life. I was being a half-baked daddy for you. And it was on a January 1st that I planned it ahead of time. You know, you gotta do some lead up. You gotta hype it up. You gotta know what you're gonna do. You gotta know what you're gonna hit the ground running with. And it was a January 1st that I laid out a much more ambitious schedule, strategy for what I wanted this to be and who I wanted to be for you. So it is possible to do a really effective New Year's resolution. So that's the activity we're going to do. Let's get to it, Daddy. Let's get to it. Okay. I'm so sorry. I feel like this is the most boring episode ever. But you know what? That's okay because it makes the good ones even better. So I want you to, if you ended up getting, I don't even remember if I was talking about it in this one or the one I tried before this, but basically we're going to do New Year's resolutions together. So I want you to think of a change that you've been wanting to make, but you haven't. And it's especially useful. I'll use an example that I'm not very crazy about using, but a lot of people make New Year's resolutions about their weight. And it's not really like that relevant to the garden, whatever your body is. In fact, it's pretty much not relevant at all, except for whatever you want your body to be. And I would hope that what you want your body to be is just to be in harmony where you love yourself. So, sometimes, the goals with your body isn't to change your body. It's to develop a relationship with the body you have. Because there's some things we can change. There's some things we can't. There's any number of ways we can have a relationship with our body. And I guess for right now, I'll use the example, because it's so common for New Year's resolutions, of wanting to lose weight. So let's say you're tempted to make a New Year's resolution of losing 10 pounds. That's got to be the most common New Year's resolution, at least in America. So what does that mean to lose 10 pounds? And I'm also very much not a doctor, and I believe in not speaking on things you're not qualified on. So I'm not going to give you, advice on, well, this is not a place for advice, but I just want to demonstrate how you should break down a goal. So the goal, if your goal is to lose 10 pounds, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's a horrible, horrible goal. And in fact, I don't really believe in goals. I think that's just setting yourself up in many ways to be dissatisfied with the present. And you're just like, you're in a constant state of not achieving your goal, because you're working towards it. Because no one can snap their fingers and lose 10 pounds. That's just not possible. So it's something that you have to work for day by day by day. And so every day you're in a state of not being where you want to be. And then if you manage to hit that 10 pounds goal, which is, it's totally doable. And it's not that the goal is too far-fetched, but then when you hit it, you're like, oh, well, how about another 5 pounds? And it's, you just move the goalpost, which is a saying that means, I don't know. It's a great saying, move the goalpost. It means like as soon as you get to the goal, you just like make the goal something further away out of reach. And then so now you're in a new phase of being dissatisfied with your body, and you keep chipping away, and you're like, oh, I hate that I'm not at my goal. I really wish I could be at my goal. And then you either fail and feel really bad about it, or you hit that goal, but then you've moved the goalpost again. And by the way, as I'm doing this, I'm like moving my water bottle around the closet. Oh man, this is fun. Okay. Oh, by the way, I've told you in previous podcasts to start training your algorithms to feed you stuff that is good for you. I have trained my YouTube Shorts algorithm to send me this guy who trains people on public speaking and communication. And it's been really great. And something that I learned from him is that I should be using hand gestures as I talk to you, even if you can't see me. And I'm doing it right now. And it feels so good. So I'm like moving the goalpost of the water bottle. This is fun. Okay. This is super professional radio, right, little bunny? No, this is just you and me. Okay. Okay, so let's say your goal is, let's say you're tempted to make the goal, lose 10 pounds. Throw that away. Your result might be that you lose 10 pounds. It may actually be likely. It may actually be likely that you lose 10 pounds. But that's never a part of the New Year's resolution. The New Year's resolution, which we're going to find a better name for it. I guarantee it. Do I guarantee it? I don't know. Is to change your daily routine. It's all about routine. So back to the change that I made for you, little bunny. The reason that I'm here in this closet with a handheld recorder talking to you right now, Thursday after midnight, because I want to be here for you on Friday, is because I made a new schedule for myself. I made a new daily routine. In fact, it is the background on my laptop. It is my weekly schedule. And before I had my New Year's Day holiday, we'll come up with it. It'll come up. It'll make itself. It'll reveal itself in time. So before that, I was kind of like improvising every day, and it's like I'll work on garden stuff when I feel the inspiration for it, but maybe it won't always be coming to me naturally. But oh God, this is the worst podcast episode I've ever done. You know what? But I'm going to give myself permission to be bad because I'm getting better right now. Yeah. The goal is not to have a perfect podcast for you. The goal is to be here for you every Friday without fail. So I'm committing right now, no matter what, I'm going to post this specific recording. And it will stay in garden history forever as the worst podcast. But that's okay, because last one I think was the best podcast. I don't know. It was a crazy one. Oh, little bunny, you want some honey? When in doubt, give a little bunny some honey. I love you, little bunny. I really do. Oh my God. I was speaking of always trying to be better for you and algorithms, I was trying to train my TikTok algorithm to send me audio production for voices. Because there's in Hollywood movies, there's always the cool character that has the deep voice. And somehow it sounds like unreal. Maybe I can do it. What's a phrase, little bunny? The only way out of here is up, looks like. I wish I had a script that I could read. God, I want to get better at improv as well. I was just thinking about that as I was thinking about what kind of New Year's resolutions I was going to make. But anyway, so I was trying to find advice and like guides on how to produce audio quality, so it's for voices, so that it sounds like that really rich Hollywood you're the blockbuster movie and the voice of the guy. And it's like, yeah. I'm sounding pretty good, by the way. I've gotten so much better than when I started. Oh man, Little Bunny. So, how did this relate to anything? I'm so brain dead. I guess maybe I'll talk about. Well, let's talk about you. When in doubt, let's talk about Little Bunny. Okay, I want you to think of some of your resolutions. If you're down to eat some carrot right now. Okay. Now, at this point, you should have noticed a resolution that you were going to make that is a bit goaly. And we're going to break that down into something that is actually useful and that will actually give you results and that will make you happy, Little Bunny, because that's what this is all about, okay? This is about helping you be the version of yourself you want to be. And I want you to be happy. I really, really want you to be happy. Very, very much. I really want that. So, okay, so the losing 10 pounds example. Don't make the resolution lose 10 pounds. Make the resolution that you make your schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Don't just say you're going to exercise. What time of day are you going to exercise? And what is the exercise going to be? Yeah? Are you going to roll out of bed and go for a run? This is if you want to. But by the way, this is, I'm not here to tell you what, certainly not here to tell you to make changes to your body. Absolutely not. So, exercise is good for you. But I'm not here to be your doctor as well, because I'm not your doctor. But if your doctor wants you to go running or get exercise of some kind, maybe swimming is a great one. Let's do swimming. Running is kind of I had this thought today as I walked by and I saw someone on a treadmill, and I was just thinking, like, what if our ancestors, what if they just got like a brief glimpse? This would be something mean I would do. Let's say I had magic powers and I could give my ancestors like one little glimpse into the future. I might just show them someone running on a treadmill, and they'd be like, why are they running in place? What is this accomplishing? Running is for exercise is kind of a bizarre thing, isn't it? It's okay if you like running. That's wonderful. It's a great thing. I like walking. I like walking around for no reason. So I'm very complicit in this ridiculousness. But swimming is kind of interesting, right? Because it's I don't know. There's something special about swimming. Maybe you should do swimming, Little Bunny. And it's very friendly to all bodies anyway. So hopefully you can get access to a pool if you don't have access to a pool. There's community pools and stuff if you don't want to have this be some kind of financial commitment. It's probably a lot better than I don't want to say better than a gym membership, but you got to be careful about the business model of gyms, because a lot of it, one of the common strategies is to get you feeling goal oriented and making you feel like unhappy with yourself and break down your self-confidence about your body. Okay. So let's say the goal you would have made is to lose 10 pounds. And now that listening to this podcast, you're like, oh, that's a stupid goal to make that because blah, blah, blah. Goals are not really a thing in the garden. And Daddy seems to know what he's talking about on a lot of stuff, which is very much the case. So your resolution, so to speak, it's not really a resolution anymore. It's a change in habit. And a change in habit is a change in your routine. Yeah, get it in your weekly schedule. So maybe it's every day. That's actually what I'm doing with my exercise. I do it. Well, that's not true. I do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. That's actually a resolution I'm going to be making, is to not do it every day, to do it on those days. So let's say your resolution is that every day you wake up and you go for a 30-minute swim. And that has a lot more benefits than just the potential weight loss, which of course I'm not the doctor here. Then once it's a habit, it just happens automatically. This is such a crappy podcast episode. I'm so sorry, little buddy. I don't want to be here to just like give you advice. Here's an advice podcast. That's so not what I want to do. I just want to make your life better. And I think just giving advice is not going to make your life better. It's like my place in your life is something different. And I still have not quite figured it out. But it's a process for me to figure out as well. I'm growing along here too. You think that this is all about you growing, don't you, little bunny? Oh, so conceited are you? I think this is all about you. I don't know. Sometimes this is all about me too. It's okay. We can have it both be all about us. It's win-win. The garden is about win-win. That much I know. So I'm growing too. I'm trying to figure out how I can be the best version of myself for you. Because this sounds so cocky, but I'm okay with being cocky. I don't like having to apologize for being cocky. I'm an incredible little bunny. I am an incredible human being. And it's not to say that I never accidentally hurt people or never came across in bad ways. But kind of right before the garden, about the year prior to the founding of the garden, maybe 2 years prior or 3 years prior, I kind of became exactly who I have always wanted to be. And it's like, where do you go from there? I've still got a lot of my life ahead of me. I kind of beat the game a bit early. So I think the new game is how can I be here for you? How can I be the best version of myself for you? Yeah, that feels fun. I like having a game. I like having a challenge. I love the experience of getting better at something. Just getting better and better and better. So my New Year's resolution this year is just all about ways that I can get better. Maybe I won't go into my specific ones. I guess I'll leave that for me. But I am revising my laptop background, which is my weekly routine. Hold on 1 second. You know what? Why don't I just make you make a background on your laptop? Yeah. If you use a laptop, you can pick any kind of other thing that you see every day. I don't know if there's a way you can do it as your phone background. That'd be kind of tricky. My laptop background, by the way, I never have any icons on it. It's just the blank picture because I just have a folder. One folder, I drag everything into that folder, and I just have this nice clean desktop where I can see my. I don't know if I can say what exactly it was. I might do a 2-parter on this because I don't know how much I can reveal on what my specific thing is. I have to think about it. I might write it out. But I guess I'll assign you some homework. Well, God, next time I talk to you, it'll be after the new year. Okay. All right, let's have some honey real quick while I clear my head and I figure out what I want to make you do. So I'm going to lie on my back. Oh, my God, this is the worst episode ever. Oh, you know what? not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I'm just happy to be here. The important thing is that I am here for you. Something that you and your fellow bunnies tell me all the time is they're like, you could say anything and it would be fine. Like, it's okay if it's bad. Maybe I'll just, oh my God, I have a funny, inspired by those comments that you and your fellow bunnies have been giving me, is a desire to buy like a really old looking dictionary. Something that just looks like you pulled it off of a wizard's shelf in a tall tower, and you have to brush the dust off of it, and it makes you cough, and you open up the pages and they're all brown and frayed on the edges. And then the TikTok is just me picking a random word, and I just read the definition. I just read you the dictionary. Maybe I should do one. Let's practice right now. Okay, I'm going to use you, little bunny. If this is a boring episode for you, it's now going to be about me, and I'm going to use you as practice. What's a word? Oh, let's define the word garden. Let's go to garden definition. Okay. Oh my God, it's so bright. I have a prediction that in the future, which maybe you are in the future, little bunny. Actually, by definition, you are in the future. Yet you are also here with me in the present, and I am here with you in your present as well. I am being blasted by the white Google screen, white background. And I was like, I have to avert my eyes. Like, who thought it was like a good idea to have a white background for a screen? It's like freaking violent on my eyes. So anyway, that's my prediction, is that 20 years in the future, maybe even just 10, the defining aesthetic that makes us go, what were we thinking, is the white background on a screen. Why a white background on a screen? That's disgusting. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read you the dictionary. So imagine a dusty wizard's tome, and I pull it open, and I say, garden. Noun. A piece of ground adjoining a house in which grass, flowers, and shrubs may be grown. They brought us tomatoes from their garden. That's the example sentence. Gotta figure out how to say that. Oh my God. Something I love about living in New York City is that everything just comes back to New York City. Number 2 here, the number 2 definition of garden is a large public hall, quote, Madison Square Garden, which is I think I even talked about it on this podcast. It's an event venue in New York City. Okay, this is so boring. This is like, give me a long definition of garden. Okay, here's another one. Here's Cambridge Dictionary. Garden. Noun. A piece of land, usually in a yard next to a house, where you grow flowers and vegetables. A vegetable flower garden. Let's do another one. Oh, here's the UK. That was the American definition. Here's the UK definition. Garden. Noun. A piece of land next to. This is the same thing. Okay. Oh no, it's not quite. Oh, okay. The UK one is more resolute. A piece of land next to, and belonging to a house where flowers and other plants are grown, and often containing an area of grass. How do we define the garden, little bunny? I can't believe that Madison Square Garden is on here. Yeah, I don't want a Wikipedia page ever, but I think I kind of want like an entry on the dictionary definition of garden. I think that would be really cool. So that's an example of something I could set that as a goal. But like, how do I do that? You know? It's a terrible goal to have. And then now if I have that goal, if I'm like walking around like, gotta get in the dictionary, gotta get that dictionary entry, number 3 for garden is this crazy time-space continuum thing where, and I don't know, too much sci-fi for this episode, but I don't know how you would define the garden. I'm still working on it. Yeah, maybe it'll be ready by the time we get into the dictionary, little bunny. But yeah, I don't want to be in a perpetual state of failing at that. So if I say my goal is to be the 3rd entry on the dictionary definition of garden, then every day, until maybe that happens, every day I'm failing. I'm in a state of failure. Remember what I said last week? First place is a process. It's not some moment that happens. And so we should have the flip side be true. Don't let failure be a process. I know I'm getting all advicey. Okay. No more advice, Daddy. Okay. You know what's great about this being a terrible episode is that I can kind of, I guess I can kind of experiment a little bit. This episode is now for me. Usually these episodes are for you, little bunny, but now they're for me. Okay. What do I want to do in this podcast episode? I guess I just want to make your life better. I guess it came back to you. Doesn't it feel... Don't you feel good, little bunny, to know that no matter what, I just come back to helping you? What is it that you do for me? I think it's what I described before. I said my life has the potential to be boring. Because there's really like nothing left to solve. So I might as well take on your problems, little bunny. I'm not going to give you advice. Everyone loves to give advice. You know what's crazy is that so much of the advice that I see on the internet is just terrible advice. Terrible advice, little bunny. I have a plan to make an episode on breakups coming soon. That's one of my most requested, probably my most requested episode at this point. And my advice is very, very different than the typical advice you've probably been given and the advice that maybe you have given other people. Yeah, it's just the fact that it would be really good for me to make an episode on breakups and that it's really requested is kind of a symptom of there being a lot of bad breakup advice out there. So hopefully I can help make your life better in that way. So you don't have to carry around these bad breakups with you forever. I can help prevent you from having bad breakups. And I don't know. I'll figure it out. That one I'm going to write word for word. And I think that's something I need to learn is that carrot episodes, I really gotta have detailed notes. Okay, guess I should wrap it up. Wow. This will get better once I'm back in the Lindy Command Station in New York City. The home of a more famous garden. Actually, yeah, okay. Someday this garden will be more famous than Madison Square Garden. And that's not a goal, that's just a prediction based on the habits that I form. And so in a couple days I'm prepping now, and then on January 1st is a new day, a new age of good habits. And the garden's only going to get better and better. Okay. I'm going to write you your poem, Little Bunny. This is the worst episode ever. Oh, it's okay. It's an episode where I take my own advice. Maybe I'll make the resolution to give you a better New Year's episode next year. Oh, okay. Here's your poem, Little Bunny. Welcome to the worst poem ever. Your daddy. God, this is so bad. Okay. You're going to get a 2-line poem. I'm going to think about it though. So give me some time to think. At least I'm going to give you like the best worst poem ever. I'm not going to give you a worst poem that's bad. So I'm going to sit here in silence for a little bit. All right, little bunny. Even the garden's worst poem makes me a better poet. That's all you got, little bunny. Okay. Oh, it's so funny how last week's episode in this closet was, I don't know if it was the best. I think it was my favorite. I'll say that. And now this week is my least favorite. So interesting the way things work, isn't it? Sometimes you can have the same place. Oh. I'll end with this little detail. So I'm lying on my back, looking up through the skylight where there were the stars. By the way, the reason you're not getting a stargazing podcast this week is because the place out in the rural countryside that we went to turned out to be horrible for stargazing because it was cloudy and there was actually some light pollution, so you couldn't really see many stars anyway. So I'll be giving you a great, great stargazing podcast in the future. But right now, I'm looking up through this skylight at a very, very gray cloud. So interesting. Okay. I love you, little bunny. I'll be better for you next week. Okay, bye.